Okay, part two to the video I was just doing. So on the last video, if you want to check that out first, I was talking about my pregnancy story. So I'm gonna leave like where I'm gonna go where I left off. So if you want to watch that video, do that first because that would make more sense, and then come back to this video. So what I was saying was, I haven't gained weight during my pregnancy. I actually lost weight, and then I maintained the weight for the last few months, and I would go up and down like a pound, but like it was like, just like every day, like your weight goes up a pound or down, or so I maintained my weight. And like I said, my doctor was very nice, and I actually like this pregnancy that I had. The experience was better than my last one. My last one, the place I went to, I mean, everyone was nice, but it just didn't feel like the same experience. So when I had my son, when I was pregnant with him, I just saw a lot of doctors in the office. Like, they would just schedule me with whoever was there. They had a lot of OBGs in that office, because they do not just pregnancy but just regular women stuff. So I would see like different people. I didn't have like a set doctor. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, I was actually a lot lighter. I was 19 years old when I got pregnant with my son, and I was definitely under 200 pounds, which is still overweight, I know, but I was a lot lighter and a lot younger. And, they were worried about my weight, and I would go into the office more to do, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a stress test. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Where they monitor you, like you sit for like 20-30 minutes, and they put the monitor on your stomach to make sure that the baby is like, I guess like their heart rate is moving the same or in the range it's supposed to be in. So I don't know if that was the whole time I was pregnant or the last few months when I was pregnant, but that was with my son. So with my daughter, I'm already almost 6 months pregnant. I'm way heavier than what I was with my son, and I like that with this pregnancy, I saw one doctor, and she knew, like, when I told her like my concerns, when I didn't feel comfortable, or because I'm a paranoid person, so if I feel like something's wrong, I'm especially going to go to my doctor. So I just felt comfortable with her, and she is very nice. She has like a sense of humor, so she doesn't make it seem like everything is so serious. Obviously, like, she was worried about my blood pressure and stuff like that. That was like her thing she was worried about with me, making sure I was taking my medication and stuff like that. But she wasn't really worried about my weight, because I told her before, I was like, oh, I think I even brought it up to her. I was like, oh, are you gonna do that monitoring thing? And she was like, and I explained to her how they did that last time, and she said no. So, and I wasn't like putting on weight like that or anything, and I was maintaining. So hi, my daughter's laying next to me. She just woke up from her nap. So she just made me feel comfortable, like, whenever I went there. And I would go every 2 weeks, because she wanted to make sure that my blood pressure was okay, and it was getting closer to that time. So I went every 2 weeks, and obviously the last month I went every week. So I was in there like all the time. So so that was what I liked, and then obviously me having my ultrasounds, seeing the baby, and it also feels so new again, because it's been so long since my first pregnancy that you kind of forget some things, and it's a good experience. And then obviously my partner, it's his first time experiencing like me being pregnant, and then everything, and seeing our baby, and you're just like wondering what she's gonna be like and what she's gonna look like. And you know, just feeling being pregnant again, and, you know, feeling the movement and seeing like her moving, it just like, I always wanted to like protect her. So that was, it's just a great experience, and especially like you having someone who's there for you. I know not everyone has that partner, but when you do, you should appreciate it, because it feels good when you have someone to go through that with, because it's not everyone's ideal situation when they don't have someone that's there for them. So I felt, and also this pregnancy, I had my partner with me. Every doctor's appointment I went to, he was there, and I just feel like it was just more like a connection, because obviously I have a better relationship with the person I'm with. So anyways, I'm 30, so I'm supposed to go in at 39 weeks to get my C-section. So the day before, it's my regular every Wednesday go to my doctor's office, and then the next day would be my C-section. So the last day before, I'm just like freaking out, and you know, when I go in there and she tells me about the hospital and all that, and you know, I go to the hospital that same day because I thought I was gonna do blood work that day before, but I went there and they said no, we were due in the morning. So I drove all the way there. I don't know if I drove or my partner did, but anyways, so we drove back home, and then obviously after 12 you can't eat or drink. So from like 12 to 6 a.m. well, I'm sleeping half the time, but then I'm waking up to pee and all that. I'm getting ready because I have to be there by 6 a.m. So I haven't had anything to drink. I don't really care about the eating part as much, because just like when you're thirsty and you can't drink, like I feel like that's just like your mouth is so dry. So I get to the hospital and it's 6 a.m. I still can't have anything to eat or drink, and I don't even know the last time I ate. I know it was before 12, so I'm kind of hungry, but I'm more thirsty than anything. So I'm in there and I'm thinking like, okay, and you know, a few hours are going by. I don't think anyone comes in for like over 2 hours, and then like, you know, someone comes in. I think they tell me like, oh, why haven't you changed? And like, you know, because no one was coming in at 6 a.m. to tell me to change it. It's like, you know, I'm coming in this room and I'm like, you know, just laying there. So I change into like my, you know, into my clothes, and then like, finally after 10 o'clock, so from like 6 to 10, I'm kind of just like chilling in the room. And the 4 hours it seems again like forever when you're waiting for something, especially when you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a baby, I'm gonna have surgery, everything's going on, my life's gonna change, I'm gonna have another child. So they all start coming in, the nurses, they're asking questions, you know, they put in the IV, they're taking blood. Then someone else comes in, takes more blood, like they didn't get enough, and me, I don't like blood, try not to look. Then other people are coming in, telling me what's gonna happen, asking me questions, and then finally after 10, I'm wheeled in to the room, and it's fucking cold. Sorry, it's freaking cold in there. And I'm just like, you just think of so many thoughts in your head, because you know it's a surgery, it's a risky surgery. You're like thinking like you're gonna meet your kid. You hope everything's just gonna go okay. You don't, and like I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to feel, because you know, you just don't want to feel anything, like you don't want to feel it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna feel them cutting me open? It's just like a worry, like cause you're awake. If they put you asleep, it's not like you like know what's going on. So it's like when you're awake and like you're just like anticipating, like, am I gonna feel this? Even though you know that you're gonna have medication, but it's still a worry, like it's still a fear. So I'm leaning over, the guy's putting the needle in my back, and I'm like, I jolt a little bit, not like, you know, after, and then I start feeling like instantly like, you know, like my legs like are jello, and I'm like, they're telling me to like lay back. I'm like, I can't, and the guy's like, you gotta lay back. So I'm like trying to lay back and trying to lift my leg. I think they helped me, because you're starting to like instantly feel like you can't move like the bottom half of your body and your legs, trying to get back onto the table or to the bed. So then they're putting like the curtain up, and there's like bright lights on the top, and it's really cold in there, and I'm like shivering. My mouth is kind of like, and there's people behind me, there's someone else talking to me, and they're all nice. Like, they were super nice. They were like, you know, oh, like, I think they said, oh, do you feel anything? And they're like, you know, someone like put like an example like up here on my arm. It was like a piece of wood or something, like, oh, you know, you feel this, and they like put it down lower, like, do you feel this? And it didn't feel like anything. I think it just felt like, don't touch me, but not like that sensation. So excuse me. So then I guess like they're starting, but obviously I can't see it, which good, why they put the curtain. And then my partner comes in, and he's like behind me, and you know, you can hear people talking on the other side of the curtain. And then like the guy, the one guy's behind me, and he's like talking to me, and he's like talking to my partner, and then another lady, I think she's like asking me how I'm doing. So it was a good experience. It didn't seem that long, you know, that I was in there. And then I think they asked me like, oh, do you want to see the baby? And I said no. I don't know why I said no. Not because, I don't know, like in that moment I was just like, oh, I know why. I think they were gonna like put the curtain down or something, and I didn't want to like see myself, like, because I would have freaked out. That's why I said that. So when they're like, oh, a lot of pressure, and like I felt the pressure, and then like I hear the baby cry, I'm like, oh, I want to see the baby, and I start crying. I'm like, oh, I want to see my baby. So I guess they like put the curtain down a little bit, and the light from the top, when you're looking up from the lights on top, they put the baby up for like a quick second, and like I see her, but I can't really see her, you know, like I can, because it's like the lights are like blinding me. And then they take her, and then my partner goes, and I hear her like crying, and he's over there, but I can't see what's going on because obviously I'm laying in the curtain. So then they bring her around to me, they put her, and I'm like laying down trying to look over. Yes. And they put her on my, let me lift her up because she wants to come up here. Yes, baby. Oh my goodness. Say hi. Hi. So I'm talking about you. So they put her, they come around, they put her on my chest, and I still can't really see her because she's like, you know, laying, you know, like laying sideways, I think half of her, and I'm kind of like, can't really turn my head that much. So then she was only there for like, I feel like less than a minute, like, you know, and then they take her, and my partner goes with them, and then they're finishing up with me, and then they take me out, and they put me back in the same room that I was in. And my last experience, I went to like a recovery, like wasn't like the same, it wasn't like a regular hospital room, it was like another area, and I was there for like, I feel like over an hour. But this was different. They just took me right back into the same room, and not even like 5 minutes that I'm in the room, my partner comes in with her, and he like lifts her up, and like I get to hold her. I'm finally getting to like really like see her for the first time, because like I said, I couldn't see her when they lifted her up because of the lights, and then when she was laying next to me, I couldn't really see her. So I finally was like looking at her, and then like I think a few doctors like came in, and then they like left, so I was like with her and him. And yeah, it was just like, I'm just laying there, I'm alert, I'm feeling okay because obviously I'm on medication, and I'm like with my baby. So we finally get moved into another room a little bit after that. It was on a different floor too, like, so that was the room that I was actually like staying in for the time I was there. And what I like is this is also a different experience. The last time I was in the hospital with my son, he wasn't in the room with me at all. Like, they had him in the nursery, and he also stayed in the hospital for a whole week, like from the day that I think it was from the time I was in until like a week. Like I think that was it, because I guess he was like spitting up, or maybe wasn't like eating like they wanted him to. So I had to go back and visit him. But it was a different experience. Like, I didn't get to have him in my room with me. I had to go visit him in the nursery. So she got to stay with me in the room with me the 2 days that I was there. So I really liked that. That was a different experience from the first time. And yeah, she was great in the room. I guess she spit up, so like kind of like changed her formula. But she was fine. Like she was like eating, and I got to like be with her. The only thing I didn't like, that room was so freaking cold, and no matter how many blankets I put on, or when we tried to like change like they had like a thermostat in there, I don't know if it was broken, but it just like, it was cold. It was freezing. And obviously I'm like, well, if it's broken, I'm not gonna ask someone because they can't change it. So I just like dealt with it for those 2 days, and it just was not fun. So, you know, I'm not getting up to walk yet. They say like, oh, after a few hours you gotta get up to walk. It wasn't until later that night that I actually got up. But she was born after 11 o'clock in the morning. So so I was in bed. I threw up one time, a little bit. Yeah. So they would like bring her to me so I could like feed her formula. She's formula fed. What's wrong? You want your... Okay. That's what she wanted. So, so yeah. So they finally at night, you know, came in, and, you know, I haven't gotten up to go to the bathroom or anything. And I'm hungry now because I haven't eaten since before midnight. And I think I ate something like very light that day. I think I just ate crackers. Like I didn't eat anything heavy, and then I was like having like a little bit of water and stuff like that, which was fine. Like I wasn't really like, you just had surgery, you're not like in the mood to like give me a whole freaking meal, but you're hungry still, like you need something. So they were like these honey crackers. I like them. I was like, okay. So then they came in the room at night, and I'm like, I have to get up, and this is where shit gets real. So my first experience, from what I remember, it just felt so hard to get up. Like I felt like my bottom half was gonna fall off. The second time that, you know, this experience, I mean, it wasn't easy getting up, but I just feel like it was a little bit easier, I feel like, than the last time. So those 2 days getting up and down from the bed on my own, you know, it hurts. Obviously, it's major surgery, and you know, you're trying to go to the bathroom. There's a lot of stuff going on in that area, and it's just like, and then your stomach hurts. You just, oh. I left in 2 days. The other from before, I think it was like almost 3 to 4 days. Like, I think it was almost on the 4th day that I was there the first time. This time I left in 2 days. So a lot was different. I got to have her with me in the room. I left earlier. It felt a little bit easier, I would say, to like get up and walk around, but it still obviously hurt. It was a great experience, I think so. And then after, just healing. I don't really want to go into that because like so long. It's like, you know, but basically the next 6 weeks, I didn't really start feeling better until like 6 weeks after I had her, because I was having like pain. You know, when you get up, I'm trying to get up slowly. When you're like in the car, you feel like all the bumps. And you know, like I'm trying to make sure that I'm healing correctly, because you know, after, you still got to make sure that you're healing your where they, you know, your C-section area. You want to make sure that your incision is not infected. It's good. And I was worried about that because I'm like, I don't want to get no infection. I want to make sure I'm okay. You really go through a lot. My pregnancy was pretty good. I can't complain. It's the pain after with the C-section, and then not feeling well. You can't lift anything, you can't bend, you're trying to make sure you don't move too quickly because you just don't want to, like, I was so scared. Of course, I'm always a worrier, but I don't want to, like, rip open my incision or, like, do anything crazy. So after 6 weeks, I started to feel like, okay, I feel better. I'm not feeling pain when I'm, like, moving around so much. It just gets better with time. So yeah, that's my story. That's my pregnancy story. So yeah, I think I'm only gonna have one more baby one day, not soon. You know, obviously having more than one C-section or surgeries are risky, especially in the same spot where they have to cut open. So 3 is gonna be enough for me. I waited a long time from my son into her. I'm not gonna wait that long from her and trying to have another baby, probably like 3 or 4 years, but I want to give my body time to heal so I can go through that again the last time, because I don't want to keep, and I don't, 3 is enough. 3 is a good number. Don't want any more than that. So if I can have one more one day, that's fine. But I am so blessed. I have a son and I have a daughter, and she was a very, like, great blessing and a gift that I didn't even know that I was getting. So yeah, so she is a happy, healthy baby. She's almost 4 months old, right, mommy? Yes. Yes, I love her so much. She's so smart. Oops, there's some drool. She's so smart, and she's like trying to talk, and she's very like alert, and she's always smiling, very happy. And besides like her little crying when she's hungry, and you know, when she has gas or when she wants a diaper change, she's a pretty calm baby. Like, she doesn't like require to always be held. But you know, sometimes I feel like she wants to be picked up, because obviously she wants to feel like someone's there. But she's really good, like, and she's the sweetest. Like, she smiles and she makes little sounds, and it's just, I feel like this is like a whole new experience. But it also is a new experience because it's a new child, and not every experience is going to be the same. But it also feels new because she is her own self, her own person. And then it's been so long since I've had a baby. It feels brand new. And then also, like, I'm experiencing it with someone else. So it just feels like it's a totally different experience. But that's my story on my pregnancy. And you know, one day if I can have another baby, I would love to start from when I find out until I deliver, like capturing the experience of like videotaping it and all that. I didn't want to do that this pregnancy. You know, I was just kind of like worried in my head, and like I just didn't feel like, you know, but I feel like I need to like believe in myself. Like, if I can get pregnant, I can carry these babies, and I shouldn't be so hard on myself and worry. So if I get pregnant again one day, which I believe that I will, I want to capture those moments, and also my kids' experience with another baby. She's so cute. So thank you guys so much. If you've watched this video, thank you, because it's a long video. I try to do shorter videos, but sometimes you just have to tell the story. So please subscribe and comment down below, and I'll try to do more like baby updates and stuff that she's doing, and you know, stuff like that. Okay? Alright, thank you guys. Bye!